So Party City has done it again because their lineup for 2022 has been leaked. So let's get into this. Now, I must say last year's lineup was also really good. They've always had really solid lineups in my opinion, with the exception of maybe 2020. That one really sucked in my opinion. Not it was just okay. They didn't have much like that. I thought it was really good. But this year is definitely really awesome. So, let's get into it. The first one here is I'm not sure how tall it is, but judging by the base, it's probably a 12-footer. So this is the 12-foot clown. And I must say, he does look really awesome. Love how the face looks. I love how nightmarish it is. Techie has got to do more clowns, because I'm assuming this is Techie. It might be SVI, since they sometimes work with Party City on these, but I'm not sure. Now, one of the only issues I have is this has a lot of cloth, obviously, which I know for us Ontarians, at least, if our Party Cities will even get this, because the shipping last year was abysmal. Like, they didn't even have any new animatronics last year. But at least for us Ontarians and maybe some other, people in the States and stuff, it always rains on Halloween, so you bet that his clothing would get super wet and stuff. But I mean, that's fine. Maybe, still shelter it somehow if you have, a crazy tall house or, some kind of overhang, I don't know. But I do think it's pretty cool. I wouldn't get it. Personally, the only 12-footer I have on my mind is the skeleton from Home Depot, because it's just more versatile. But anyways, I've spent too long on this guy. Anyways, on to the next one, which is this clown and a popcorn machine. Now, I must say this one does look really cool to me as well. And I love it how it even says press for popcorn, that's how you actually activate it. So that's really awesome to see. And I do really like this one. The only problem I have, it does look like it would be fairly pricey, because, the whole popcorn machine, which does look really good, may I add. But its animation just doesn't look like it'll be too much with that. But, I mean, that's okay. Maybe if they even had, a Jack-in-the-Box spring, that'd be pretty cool. But it's a very good unexpected jump scare. So, it would also just make a very good ambient, display for, a carnival display or whatever. So I think that's really awesome. Now on to this next one, which is the clown ground fogger. Now, I do also think this is really cool. Now, ground foggers aren't quite my thing, since I just have a fog machine out. Plus, I always have the fog machine hooked up to something like Harvester of Souls, which is just a little more interesting. But I know this is pretty cool. It appears to have the same design as the, grave-grabbing clown we saw back in the Halloween and Party Expo a few years back. So, that's pretty cool. Now, I just think it's pretty okay, Now, this next one here is this clown on a stake. I think this is also kind of cool, but I just doesn't quite do it for me. I like how it has ice cream and all, but out of all of them, this is just pretty okay in my opinion. Now, the next one here is the Foggy Devil. Now this one, that's the kind of stuff I like, because it appears to be fairly large, not 10 feet or anything, but around 6 to 7 feet tall. And I just think it's really awesome looking, because, we don't get any traditional, devils, usually. We always get, skeletons with horns, which were cool for a little while, but I think we should really go back to some more, traditional-looking demons and stuff, like Forest Demon. Baphomet from Spirit was a good step last year, but I just mean, maybe even some, goat-type heads or whatever. Really get into the satanic elements, which might be controversial with folk, but I don't care. But I really like this. You can see the fog coming out of the horns, which is a really nice touch. And yeah, if I can get my hands on this guy, because Party City's pricing is usually inhumanly low because they're just really good at that, then I could definitely see myself picking this up. Now, this next one here is what appears to be this woman in a straitjacket with a box over her head. Now, I'm not sure what this is going to do. It looks certainly interesting. We don't see a lot of straitjacket props, like, ever. Maybe a few. But, so that's obviously a really awesome element. And I do quite like this one as well. I wonder if its head is going to, like, smash against the glass. Definitely gives me, like, Saw vibes. So, it's pretty cool, but I do think there might be some other cool ones in the lineup. So the next one here is this possessed chained girl. Now, I think we've seen a prototype for this, which is the possessed chair girl that I think Spirit was going to have in 2018. Which just kind of seems like a techie design version of Demonic Dahlia, pretty much. So, this is definitely an okay one, too. Now, I don't think the hair goes out of the way, which definitely adds a good, like, element of, imagination to it, like, what's under the hair. So that's definitely kind of cool, but possessed girls aren't usually my thing. They're not my favorite kind of prop. But it is definitely pretty cool. So the next one here is this duo of trick-or-treaters, which I have mixed feelings on, because we've seen stuff like this a bunch of times. I do think these ones look pretty good, but they look very plasticky. Now, obviously, the masks do, but that's no problem since, they're masks. They don't have to be the best. Clothing doesn't look great, especially on that one on the right. You can see the poles they're standing up on, which is a big thing that turns me away from props. So, it's okay. Definitely are going to be some more, like, cute, cartoony Halloween props. But whatever. Again, if this is what you're in the market for, knock yourself out. This next one, I believe, is a zombie snake, which sounds a little weird to say, but I do think it is a zombie snake for sure. Now, that's just a tabletop. I'm sure it's going to have the striking motion. Seen the same kind of thing before. Sorry. But in, like, a skull or just bunched up. So, I do think this is kind of cool, but, we've pretty much seen this before. This next one is a raccoon in a garbage can. That's all, zombified and evil or evil? Or, has rabies or something. So that's a pretty cool concept. And I do like this one as well. It just looks a little cheap. And I am concerned of the amount of stuff it's going to do for the, like, size. If it pops out of the trash can, that would definitely be really awesome. But, it's good to see more animal props, because those are pretty unique. We don't see a lot of those. And overall, I do think this is a pretty cool one. Probably wouldn't be priced too much, which is really good. So the next and final one I'm counting here, because the other ones just look to be general decor and stuff, and not quite the stuff that I like to cover, like the hanging ones and stuff. But this one is the zombie kid with the trick-or-treat bag. Now, this one is another one that does look really awesome. It's very, and I mean very, like, very with a capital V, reminiscent of the Limb-Eating Zombie Boy from Spirit 2013 and 14. So that is pretty cool. Now, if they were to just bring him back, I think that would be better than what they have here. But, it's still a good concept. Wish maybe he was in a slight bit of Halloween costume, but that's okay. He is fairly bloody, too, which is good to see. I do think we should see more, bloody props. And, I do quite like it. Obviously, it adds thoughts to the imagination of this. There's, like, fingers or something in this candy bag. But, So, yeah, that's pretty much all the ones I'm going to cover for now, unless any, like, new big ones come out, since, sometimes they do that. But, overall, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on these, animatronics in the comments below. And also, I keep bringing this up, but I can post on my community tabs now, which seem to be getting quite a bit of engagement, so thank you for that. But if you were unaware, just go, look at those. I'll post, like, questions and stuff fairly frequently. And I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.